something that just really landed for me. One of the teachers really used this term home ground in reference to our anchor or what we would use to bring our minds back to the present moment, like the body, sounds, breath. And I just thought that was so beautiful, home ground. That just evoked something different for me than the anchor or home base. And so I offer that, and and you can see how it lands, how it's different. Some of these words can actually have such a different impact on our systems when we take them in. So it's my little offering. But let's start just by checking in with the body this morning. How is the body? What posture would your body like to be in? And we can really be open. Perhaps we thought, oh, I'm going to sit down in my particular way on my cushion or chair. And in turning to the body, we might find, you know what? A little movement might be helpful, or lying down or standing up, shifting in some way. And so our practice can start right there with tuning in to what might be needed, what might be supportive. Perhaps a few deeper breaths, perhaps stretching, shifting. We can take our time. And then as you find a posture that feels supportive this morning, settling in some way, perhaps tuning into where the body is in contact with whatever you're resting on, chair, cushion, feet on the floor, perhaps. Just this simple contact and support. And below us, the ground, the earth, gently and consistently holding us, but not grasping, right? We have this capacity to move easily. For some of us to jump, for some beings to fly, and still there's that holding capacity. The earth is holding us in this very gentle, consistent, open-handed way. And so perhaps seeing if you can feel into that. And allowing or inviting even the body to relax into that support. To the heart, inviting the heart to relax into that support. Inviting the mind to relax into that support. The practice is quite internal, quite personal so much of the time, and yet we're not doing it alone. We're doing it in community, in the Sangha. We're also doing it with the support of the earth, the elements, the beings, and structures and forms all around us. So you might continue to just sense into the contact points where the legs are touching, where the seat is touching. If you're lying down, where the back or the sides or the belly is touching. Soles of the feet, perhaps, on the ground. contacts of the hands wherever they rest. Just feeling this steadiness. And perhaps to see if there's some amount of ease to be found somewhere in the body. Perhaps it is that contact, that simple resting point that feels easeful. Perhaps there's some other place in the body that feels okay. Not bad. Relax, perhaps, or just chill. So often we can come into the body and the body is full of aches and pains and complaints, which is totally natural. This body is going to be achy, is going to hurt. The nature of the body is to change, to grow old, to dissolve in this way. And so we don't have to fight what might be somewhat unpleasant or difficult, but we can see where is there a sense of okayness also in the body. Might be the backs of the hands, the knees, the toes. Perhaps it's the rhythm of the breath somewhere in the body that we notice that feels good. Could be in a particular location, like the belly or the chest or even the nose. Or it might be a sense of the whole body breathing, moving in and out. We don't have to try too hard to see, like, is the breath a support? Or is there some sense of contraction, of controlling, of trying, efforting? We might open also to sounds, to hearing. Seeing if that is a good enough, easeful place to rest the attention, to connect with our experience. And sometimes with sounds, there's more capacity to sense this allowing quality that we want to cultivate in our practice, because we can really know that we can't control the sounds. Instead, we settle back, we notice that hearing is happening, that the sounds are coming and going. They may be pleasant, they may be unpleasant, they may be just neutral sounds. It's not so much if the object is pleasant or unpleasant, so much as our attitude, like, does it feel good to hear? Does it feel good for the attention to land with hearing? Does that bring some ease, some ground? Well, this possibility that one of these objects, or maybe something else, some other sensation in the body, seeing or tasting or smelling, sensing, that one of these can become our home ground, a place that we return to when we get confused or lost or overwhelmed. Place that we might feel received in our wholeness, in our fullness, in our complexity. A sense of okayness, just as we are. We can tend this home ground with kindness and curiosity. A kind of consistent friendliness towards whatever it is we're noticing, this breath, this sweet breath, or these sounds coming and going. A sense of the earth below us, holding us, resting with this support. And the thing about the home ground is, and this is where curiosity can really, really support us, is we come home and it's new. I was just away for 2.5 weeks and I came home and it's new. There's a newness. It's not the same as when I left. And so even though the body, the breath, sounds, seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, these things are familiar, ongoing, they're also each moment new, alive, refreshed. And so as you come back to this home ground in your practice, again and again, we can be curious, what is this moment? What does it really feel like? The mind can be so persistent in its habits of trying to fix and change and optimize our experience in some way. And so this is part of the practice, just reminding our minds, reminding ourselves that we can let go. We can receive this experience just as it is. It doesn't have to be perfect or right. We can be interested in what it is, even if it's a little less than ideal. Still worthy of our attention, worthy of our kindness, our interest. Even the mind wandering off the body, maybe complaining at us, wanting us to shift, which we can do if we need to. The heart's murmurations and echoes and feelings. All of this too is not a problem. We can include it. We can notice when we wake up and the mind has wandered, we can notice that moment of awakeness already here, nothing to fix or change. We can notice where the mind went. We can notice if there's a pull. We can notice if there's judgment or ease. And we can come back to that sense of home ground, that sense of okayness. Nothing is needed, and we don't need to exclude any part of our experience. Even when we choose to shift and come back to this home ground, it's not a pushing away of what we might call distraction. Instead, we include, we acknowledge, we recognize the mind. I like to think of it as the mind just insisting on helping, even when it's not so helpful. It's orientation towards kindness and appreciation for its habits, its tendencies. And a confidence, a kind of trust that coming back again and again is a gift, is a support. We don't have to fight. We don't have to struggle. We can just see. Sometimes the mind is really busy and sometimes it's more settled, and both are natural. Both are part of what we will notice. Calm and agitation, ease and difficulty, pleasant and unpleasant, all natural fluctuations. Being human, having a mind, having a heart, having a body. We rest, we tend this home ground with kindness and curiosity, receiving the sensation or the breath or the sounds just as they are. And then we include, we allow, we make space for when the mind gets pulled away, the heart, the body. We welcome in and then we can come back. Oh, that's here too. And there's this ground I can find some amount of okayness, some amount of ease, well-being. We do this very personal practice, and each one of us is going to be noticing the unfolding in our own bodies, minds, hearts in a unique way. And yet we're not alone. And it's not so personal. Pain and pleasure, joy and despair, calm and agitation. All of us will experience these. Part of being alive, part of being human. And the practice can hold us, can be with us as we notice what is here. In the last few minutes of this practice, I'll invite you, if you would like, turn towards your own heart, perhaps the physical heart, but also the emotional heart, the heart center, part of the body that we often feel very directly emotions. And see, is there some warmth there? Some opening, some natural appreciation. Perhaps there is an object that the appreciation is appreciating, some circumstances and conditions, but there might just be a sense of open warmth, or there might not be. You might feel more closed or numb, and that's okay too. There's nothing that we need to make happen, but just seeing. From this sense of the heart space, acknowledging and perhaps even appreciating the body, this body, imperfect, good enough, perhaps achy and pain, this body that has survived and thrived, perhaps given birth or had surgery or experienced illness. Pain, trauma, all of that may be here in this body, and that this body is here, alive, breathing, moving, caring for us, walking or moving on the earth, able to feel pleasure and joy, and even this simple appreciation.
That's what's up right there.